Welcome back, everybody, to another exhilarating prison news episode of Lockdown 23 in 1. That's right, it's been a while since we've done a prison news rundown, but these stories I'm bringing your way blew my mind. And I think they're going to do the same thing for you. So if this is what you're into, all things lockup and crime related, then this is where you want to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my beautifully assorted playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today. Alright, the first story is going to be on old Vitily, Fatality, whatever his name is. Fans of Russian YouTuber Vitaly have expressed concerns after a new image surfaced online, showing him having visibly lost weight while being incarcerated. Vitaly was arrested in the Philippines and faces several criminal charges. On April 3rd, he was taken into custody at a hotel in Pasay City after an order was issued declaring him an undesirable foreign national. I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm guessing here. Nobody wants him. Not Russia, not America, nobody, man. Undesirable foreigner, right? Ain't that what it means? And yeah, I ain't gonna lie, homeboy lost a lot of weight. He almost doesn't even look like himself. A lot of people are saying that he was taking steroids and this is what he looks like without them. I mean, he ain't been gone that long, man. If that's what the change looks like if you stop taking something, then I don't want no parts of it, man. I ain't gonna be doing that for the rest of my life, and as soon as I come off of it, I look like Squidward? Hell no! I need that authentic natural pump. Not one bit of roids in these. I don't know if you can tell because they're so massive, but Vitily, Fatality, man, you're not looking good right now. Fans expressed their concerns and comments on social media. Some saying, yeah, that's not good. Damn, he went from being on steroids to barely being on breakfast. The comment section never loses, man, I'll tell you what. Kind of like the dealer at the casino, man. They always end up winning. One user said, looks like a completely different person. Wow, they agreed to exactly what I said. One person said, jail food leans you out. Apparently, yeah, because you ain't getting fed that much. I don't know how the Philippines is ran, but you'll lose weight in American jail if you ain't got commissary canteen, right? So add that together with missing steroid doses, man, you're gonna be shriveling up like a prune. But Vitaly is facing charges including unjust vexation, alarm and scandal, and attempted theft. If I were to guess, these things in the Philippines is like considered a death sentence. I don't know what country it is, but I seen a movie where a dude got caught up with like a dime bag of something and he got life in prison. They have a zero drug tolerance, so now you got a foreigner doing life in a prison where he can't even understand what the people are saying. You'll learn soon enough, I'm sure, but either way, you know, that's how the game goes. But this guy's like a major social media influencer type of guy, right? Prankster, you know, he's been around for a while. And when I see stuff like this happen to individuals like that, that's kind of like, you don't hear much about them anymore, and then all of a sudden you hear this, I can't help but to say to myself, is it just another prank paid to the government of wherever he's at, man, to put him back in the limelight with some petty charges, you know, that he can beat later on down the road? But guess what? People are thinking about him again, right? Look, I'm over here making a video on him. You know, I don't know, I can't help but to think that that's the damn strategy sometimes. A little scary, though, if it backfires. Next thing you know, you're doing 20 years in prison, right? But the article continues saying he has been accused of harassing Filipino citizens in public spaces during his live streams. And look, like I said, some countries, their rules and regulations, they will not stand for any of this. Shoot, you spit on the sidewalk in some places, man, you might get that tongue cut right out. Steal something, your hands are gone. It's like Aladdin in some places still out there, right? You can't just travel to any country and keep doing the old American pranks. But moving on with the article once again, the Philippines Interior Secretary previously said that Vitaly was taken into custody for alleged acts he committed during his stay. Some of his acts were captured on video and circulated online, which if you're to ask me is making the Philippines look like a joke. That's why they had to hem his ass up real quick, man. You can't play with us like that, right? If I was like some kind of Philippine conductor out there, I'd stop his ass in his tracks and smoke him from here to kingdom come. Do not bring that American bullshit this way. The secretary continues to say he will remain there for now in the Bureau of Immigration detention facility. We will not deport him, and he will be held accountable under the law here in Philippines. And look, I read somewhere else that, you know, Russia don't want him, America don't want him. So if you're to ask me, that's like a green light to the Philippines to do as they please. Build a railroad track and get the Chattanooga train smoke rolling. Vitily, man, it's a sad day, bro. Hopefully you can make it out a little bit buffer than what you are now. Let this be a rude awakening to anybody think they're going to go out to another country and get famous off of pranks or other activities that us Americans do on a regular basis, man. You better check your ends or you might be in the same position as this guy. Next up, we got a story once again on R. Kelly. We just did a live stream the other day on where he's saying that a planned hitman from the Aryan Brotherhood came to him telling him, hey, this is the drill, man. They want you dead. But I'm not going to lie, after observing you for a few weeks, I like you now. I'm a fan myself. I'm just playing. I don't know if he added that 2 cents at the end, but if I were to guess, probably went something very similar to that. But either way, seems like he possibly ducked a professional hit, or possibly is making all this stuff up to try to get out of prison. Who knows? You know, it's a diabolical game in prison and jail, I'm trying to tell you. But shortly after that situation, it seems like R. Kelly has been hospitalized for an overdose. Man, that doesn't look too good for his situation, does it? It really sounds like someone's trying to get him now. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, chances are what? It's a duck. But they say that prison staff gave him an amount of medicine that could have killed him and was later forcibly removed from a hospital against medical advice, his lawyer alleged in a statement to CBS News in a federal court filing. And I just wanted to tap in lightly to this situation, man. The rabbit hole with R. Kelly, it could go on forever. Kind of like old Diddy. That's why I kind of duck it, man, because, you know, it's just never-ending filth if you start digging, right, man? So, it sucks, too, because everybody loves that Space Jam soundtrack, right, man? Either way, it's definitely not looking good for R. Kelly. If these things are true that's happening to him, man, I'd be paranoid just to eat a tray. Who knows what's in that, right? But at the same time, why would they be trying to come at him like this? What does he know? He's got to know quite a bit about something on someone. I guess only time will tell, or maybe not. Will he survive prison? I'll tell you what, it's not looking good. He's still got about, what, like 25 years left to go? Something like that. Either way, moving on to the next story on Eminem. I know you probably never thought in a million years old Marshall Mathers be on lockdown 23-1, but here he is. Not legitimately, but still. The article says a man convicted of invading Eminem's home in Clinton Township will spend years in prison after he was sentenced in Macomb County. Matthew David Hughes, 32, was sentenced to a whopping 15 to 30 years on first-degree home invasion and 3 years to 7 years and 6 months on aggravated stalking. That's right, Eminem got an official stand on his hands. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, you ain't gonna believe it. He received no credit for the days served in the county jail, according to online circuit court records. The sentencings are to run consecutive, which means Smokeville, to each other, and both consecutive to time for a parole violation. Man, they really got him. So he has to do his time for all those, crimes that he committed, one by one. And then after he does that, he's got to do the time for the violation. They're all ran consecutive. Hughes was convicted by a jury on May 7th after a trial that lasted about a day and a half. Eminem testified at the start of the trial's second day. The jury returned a guilty verdict in an hour, according to court records. But this is the second time Hughes was charged with invading Eminem's township home. He was arrested in August, 3 days after township police say he was seen on the rapper's property. He has been in a county jail since he was booked into lockup on August 30th, according to online jail records. Unlike a similar incident in 2020 when Hughes broke into the house and awakened Eminem. This was back in 2020. I believe what he was on probation for, but he didn't confront the rapper during the August invasion. Hughes' conviction in May happened 25 years to the month after the release of Marshall Mathers' LP, which featured the enduring hit Stan, a song about an obsessive fan. In the 2020 case, Hughes was arrested on Eminem's property that April during the early weeks of the COVID-19 quarantine. Oh man, can you imagine something like that breaking out in the whole world? And you got random old Hughes in the middle of the night standing in your house. I'm about to see 28 years later this Thursday. Yeah, grand opening release. I think it's a little early, Jane. Can't wait to see that. But yeah, you see Hughes in a dark room like that, that's what you're thinking. The rapper told police he awakened to find a stranger standing behind him. God, that's terrifying. When Eminem asked why he was in the home, Hughes said he was there to kill him. A detective testified during preliminary exam. Wow. Makes you wonder what kind of security old Eminem has. Bro, if I was that rich, there ain't no way old Hughes be stepping anywhere on my compound. He'd get lasered. I wouldn't even have leaves on my yard during fall. The brand new laser dome take him right out. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's about the wrap. Bulk of news today coming from the penitentiary. Or on their way to the penitentiary, at least when it comes to Eminem's situation. Stay tuned, though. We're going to be jumping in the courtroom here once again, probably tomorrow. So make sure you iron, fresh press those khakis. One single spurt of juke behind the ear. Trust me, try it out. That scent is known to be found not guilty. Anyways, I'm out here until the next time. If you enjoyed and you're new, as always, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave. And of course, be easy, be safe, and more importantly than anything, stay free.